I'm Cody Landels. In less than 4 years, I built and scaled a roofing company from the ground up to over $20 million in annual revenue, and then successfully sold it. Now I'm on a mission to share what I've learned while documenting my journey to scale Reimagine Roofing to $100 million in annual revenue. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking to scale a service business or a sales rep ready to sharpen your skills, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. All right, let's get us rolling. So like I talked about at the start of today, what we're going to go over is building the ultimate offer. One of my favorite sayings in sales is that a compelling offer is worth 10 times a convincing argument. And so if we really understand, especially as leaders, as business owners, what you can control most is the offer. You can attempt to control what people say in the house, the sales systems, we can do recordings, we can do all that, but all those things still have some variability. But if you have a set amount of offers that say, hey, every single homeowner gets this and this, and that's the only thing you're allowed to sell, then that is something you as an owner or senior leadership can directly control. A couple big things on offers. One, every customer should get every offer if you're doing your 4 offers. We really like to do 4 offers, 4 packages, and sometimes with certain homeowners, even up to 5. And now the reason for this is multiple. I like to have one really at the top that gives a great price anchor. So if I'm selling shingle, my top package is always going to be a stone coated steel option, or if you do corrugated or something that's roughly 40 to 50%, almost double the price. If I'm selling shingles at 500 a square, I'm going to sell my stone coated at 1,000. And also on top of that, making sure that financing is at the very forefront of that offer. Because then what we're selling, instead of a $20,000 versus a $40,000 roof, we're selling $200 a month versus $400 a month. And so for a lot of people, it's like, hey, it's only an extra $180 a month and I'll have the last roof I ever need. Yeah, that sounds like it could be reasonable. The other thing is once they see that high price, everything else is a lot more digestible. So regardless if they're in a 20 square trailer, they're still getting a metal roof proposal, even if they are looking at shingle. And you'd be surprised at how many people that you think have no money to invest in their home are the people that bring out a suitcase full of cash that pay for it in cash. So we can never prejudge people, and we can never, what I tell my reps, never spend other people's money. If they have $100,000 sitting in a suitcase because grandma just died last week and they want to buy a $30,000 metal roof, that's their choice. And we always present all options. All right. One of the other really big things is to make sure you have names. You have to have package names. I cannot stress enough how important that is, because it is a very strong psychological break of decommoditizing your roof pricing, right? If you have a good, better, best, and one's 25,000 and one's 22,000, then they're going to consistently talk to their wife. Hey, I really want to maybe do the $25,000 one. And she's going to say, hey, I want to do the 22,000. We're going to constantly be talking about price. What we want them to talk about is, hey, I want the peace of mind package. I like the price on the essentials, but I really want the peace of mind. I really want our packages are called bulletproof, peace of mind, essentials, and bare bones. That's our four standard. We do, if they ask for like metal wrap fascia or if they have any curiosity of that, we'll do bulletproof with the bells. Like something that has all the bells and whistles, so we'll do a bulletproof with the bells. So this is, hey, we can do a standing seam plus metal wrap fascia, blah, blah, blah. But those are my 4 basic packages. Doesn't matter if I'm selling tile, shingle, flat roofs, metal, doesn't matter. Every single customer gets 4 packages at minimum, all right? And I cannot stress enough, we have to have names on it or else it's always about dollars and cents. So what we want to do with packages and with offers in general is we want to transition. And it's funny, I had already had this planned. And if you go look at the video that Adam just dropped this morning, it's talking about selling at different levels and when somebody is more expensive than you. But what he talks about and what we train on is feeling versus dollars. All right. And so we want them to have the feeling that I really want this because it's going to give me a better outcome. Okay. So when you do outcome-based selling instead of price-based selling, okay? Meaning, for example, if you're going to go with the bulletproof package, yes, you're going to, let's say if I'm doing shingles, I'm going to go with stone coated. Yeah, so stone coated is going to come with a 50-year material warranty and a 50-year labor warranty. It's going to be class 4 hailproof. All of those are features. But what does that make you feel? It's going to be the last roof you ever need, so you'll never have to feel this stress again. We're doing this a lot right now in Florida. Why? Because especially in the part that got hit by the hurricanes in Tampa, they haven't got hit by a hurricane in 100 years. And they actually have another one headed their way right now. But the feeling is like, man, this was so scary. I'm so glad my home didn't get ruined, but I was terrified that my roof was going to get ripped off and water was going to dump in the house and I was going to lose everything. If that's your feeling, is it worth $180 a month to never feel that again? I think most people would say yes, right? Why do you pay for insurance? Because you want to feel safe, right? And even if rationally you look at it like, hey, I did the actual math on it, right? Because insurance is just a giant math thing. You could probably look rationally and say, hey, health insurance actually isn't worth it. I could just save this money. And if we played the odds game, there's only a 5% chance I get cancer and 95% chance I'm just throwing money down the drain every day, right? But how would you feel? You'd feel terrified, right? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I get cancer tomorrow, I won't be able to pay for it. I won't be here for my family, whatever. So you say, okay, great. I'm willing to pay X amount of dollars a month to feel safe, to not have to feel stress. Think of how many times you've paid for convenience. You've paid an extra 20% to get to the front of the line or not have to wait for this or to get overnight shipping or whatever it is. That feeling you're willing to pay money for. And so what we want to make sure is that when we're selling these packages, we can talk about the features and the benefits, but we really want to talk about the outcome of how it's going to make you feel. Or how you're never going to have to feel what you felt earlier. Which for a lot of people, a roof leak, that initial feeling is like, oh my gosh, my whole house is going to be ruined. It's just like when that check engine light comes on your car, your immediate feeling is, oh my gosh, I hope my car's not going to explode. I hope this isn't going to cost me $10,000. And then you start to rationalize. You're like, it's only 5 years old. It's probably only going to be something small like this and that. And like talk yourself off the ledge. But the first time you hear a weird sound in your car, like that first initial feeling is like, oh my gosh. And so same thing when that storm was hitting and that roof was leaking, assuming it's leaking, they had that feeling. Or let's say it's insurance and it didn't leak, but it's storm damaged. How do they feel going through the insurance process? Probably not very good a lot of times, right? It's stressful. It's annoying. I don't ever want to have to do this again. And then we can talk about the other benefits as well, but we always want to focus on the feeling and what can be the feeling on the outcome of it, all right? The other really key that we've implemented in the last 6 months, and it has been an absolutely game changer for us, is this bare bones package. I think it is essential in this current economy to have a bare bones package. And what that looks like for us is we just say architectural shingle. They don't even get to know the brand. We let them know that they might only get to choose from 3 colors, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to ABC and say, hey, what do you guys got on sale this week? They're going to get 15-pound felt. They're going to get a 2-year warranty because that's what's required in the state of Arizona. If I'm in a state that doesn't require warranties or it's a 1 year, they're getting the bare minimum. They're getting everything bare minimum. But if they want a shingle roof at $450 a square, I'll do it. Just know this is what you're getting. And we say, hey, look, this is for people that are typically looking to move in the next 3 to 6 months or maybe less than 2 years. And they just don't feel like they need a roof that's going to last them. All right. Is that someone that's like you? Do you feel like this roof doesn't need to last you? And they're like, no, I definitely. And so I don't want the bare bones, but I do want it to be affordable. Okay, great. Now we can move around the different packages. Okay. But this also allows you to have that price with maybe a lower tier competitor that is coming in, just Bob's Roofing, and it's just Bob that is undercutting you. Now you have a price floor that then really lets the homeowner say, wow, I don't want that cheapest roof. That's not what I want. Okay, great. That's all we need to do. We need to make sure you don't want the cheapest roof. Now we can talk about these other benefits of the other packages. But that gives you a price floor versus if you only come with an essentials, and let's say your essentials is $550 a square, your bare bones is $450. You're talking about $100 a square spread on a 30 square roof, or $3,000 difference, right? Let's just say on a 30 square roof, you're at about $15,000 versus $12,000. For a lot of people, if your lowest bid is 15 and they got a roof quote from Bob's Roofing at 12.2, that's too much of a spread for them to psychologically ask you to try to price match. Or they're going to be like, oh man, I don't want to embarrass myself and seem like a cheap ass. You guys subconsciously, you guys are too quality. I wouldn't even ask them to do a discount. You don't go to the Lamborghini dealership and ask to pay for a Ford. And that's how people think. They're embarrassed. to have that conversation, they don't want to seem cheap. So by throwing in that $12,000 bare bones, now they go, oh, those are the same price, but hold on. I may not, oh, okay, I don't want the bare bones. And now they've come to that conclusion themselves instead of you trying to tell them. You trying to tell them, oh, no, this other one's way different. It's not going to be as good, blah, blah. Nope, here's my bare bones. Yep, I can do it for 12,000 as well. But here's what the outcome is. You're only going to get a 2-year warranty. You're only going to get this. You're not going to get this. I also extend my lead times. We typically start roofs in anywhere from 7 to 14 days after deposits paid. With the bare bones, I'll start it within 45 days. I'll start it on my schedule. I'll see when I got somebody in the area. I'm going to go try to find the cheapest shingles that happen to be on sale. Everything's going to be absolute bare bones. And we're going to start in maybe 45 days. So is that what you're looking for? Because if so, we can do it. And keep your margins. If you go with that route, you can still keep pretty decent margins on it, even going bare bones because you're using all the cheapest stuff.